listen to me. We graphed up all the disappearances. That's you right there in the center next to his house. I really hate to be the one to tell you this, but that guy, your neighbor...
Jerry.
Yeah, he's a vampire.
That is a terrible vampire name. Jerry?
This is, I think it's your first pretty much full-on horror film.
Yeah.
What was it like working in the genre?
It's awesome, man. I've been a big horror film fan. I love blood and guts and that kind of stuff in movies, so it was really cool to see, you know, certain people lose limbs in this movie and see how they do it and be a part of all that kind of stuff.
When I saw the film, I was kind of interested in the relationship between you two, because you kind of start off at a really interesting point, because there's a past that we don't get to know about, but you have to kind of play that. How was it, given what happens to your character, which I was disappointed with the hat, so I was kind of hoping you two would team up.
I know.
How was it kind of jumping into that relationship and sort of conveying that to the audience, knowing what was going to happen?
It was great. You know, you said it like you don't really see what happened to them. You just kind of starts with them, you know, going down different paths. But it was cool because we would just have rehearsals with Craig, the director, and figure out what did happen and what the reasons were, you know, and we had time to kind of discover that for the character, and that was really cool.
David Tennant obviously is a UK, you know, big
phenomenon.
Yeah. He's kind of a Russell Brand, you know, David Copperfield kind of mix.
Sure.
How was it like working with him on set? Did he ever sort of, you know, calm down ever?
Yeah, he's a very calm guy.
Yeah, he's a very calm man. Like, he wasn't that character all the time.
If he was, I think
it'd be too much.
Way too much. He was Peter Vincent always.
But, you know, he's very nice, calm, funny man, very intelligent and quiet, you know, and when he was Peter Vincent, he was full-on Peter Vincent, and then when we weren't rolling, he was just, you know, just great. Great to be around.
It's very different from the original. Did you guys see the original? Did you know about it beforehand?
Didn't know about it beforehand, but once we got the movie, I went out and bought the DVD.
Yeah.
Okay, was that encouraged then? Because I didn't know if the director...
No, that was me. I wanted to know what I was getting into, you know. I wanted to see what the original was and what.
I wanted to know what I was getting into. It was just funny. I just laughed.
Do you think there's a massive difference between like 26 years or so since the original one? What do you think is the main difference between that one and this one?
There are quite a few, I think. I mean, Charlie's story is different. I mean, a huge difference is in the original, Charlie comes to Ed and says, "You gotta help me, there's a vampire next door," and Ed doesn't believe him. And in this one, it's Ed comes to Charlie, and then Charlie ends up losing Ed and has this tremendous amount of guilt over it. Which, I mean, you have in the first one, when he realizes his friend has been turned, he feels awful. But, I mean, that's a pretty big difference, would you say?
Very, very big difference.
The other difference is that the original looks at the transition from, I think, classic Hollywood horror to 80s horror and what was happening. And this one looks at teenagers that are so oversaturated with info about the horror genre and vampires and all that and all kind of whatever pop folklore there is. And it looks at how they react to then that same creature that they're so oversaturated with info with moving in next door. So it's also an examination of the context of the horror genre, you know?
Okay, now I get
social
so like
context.
Post-Scream, so everyone kind of knows about vampires.
Exactly.
You know how to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, your character at the end when he comes back, I mean, I was pleased to see you back, but it didn't look like it was fun to sort of, you know, film and kind of get beaten up and everything.
No, it was exciting though, because I got to be a part of, you know, the horror stuff. I got a lot of blood dumped on me in certain areas and whatnot, and we got to do a fight scene together. That was fun stuff.
I'm gonna end him or he's gonna end me. That's how it's gonna be.